Hello all, and welcome back to the Game Arena Call of Duty Black Ops 7 cast off here at the Game Arena in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Momo, and I am here with the wonderful Comica. How you doing today, sir?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. It's always great when I'm here at the Game Arena. And this is like one of the best openers that you could possibly ask for. They do this every year, and it's always a blast, dude.
Dude, I am so excited. I ended up following last year because a couple of friends ended up joining part of the competition, and unfortunately couldn't be part of it. But I was like, I heard about it like last second, so I wasn't really expecting anything. But like just hearing about it, like afterwards, asking them about it, hearing people closer to the scene that I know there from other games, I was just like, I need to be there next year, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you all so much for being here, of course, to support the stream, support everything going on behind the scenes. You see our beautiful list of peers right there in front of us, of course. Again, we've been having such a time today with the different backgrounds every caster's coming from the different perspectives we got. It makes such an interesting lineup. And of course, we've got the players, the teams. Now, Comica, actually, when we heard we were first getting our match, I know you were pretty excited about the team we were getting. Why don't you tell me about the match we're getting here today?
Oh yeah, these are players that I'm very familiar with. I've been casting CoD for like 6 years, and Careful especially, you'll see the players here now. Careful, he's been in it for a minute. Like ever since I started casting like 6 years ago, this dude was one of the first dudes I've been casting. And so he's very strong, very consistent player. He's a guy that you want to have on your team for not just good ability, but also good stability and good comms and good experience.
100%, man. I mean, that's going to be a big name of the game here, of course. Considering, obviously, there's still like the general feel of the game still being somewhat new. I mean, of course, I assume these guys have been grinding day in, day out. But considering the game's only been out for a week, there's still the factor of the new game jitters. There's different aspects of different new things from the game. Of course, speaking of new parts of the game, we've got our map list coming out here early on. We are 3 different types of game modes here. We're playing in best of 5 territory. Thankfully, we got as much action as we could possibly get. We've got Hardpoint game number 1 starting on Cortex, Search and Destroy game 2 happening on Raid, Overload game 3 happening on Den, Hardpoint game 4 happening on Raid, and finally got our last game happening on Scar. Now, and of course, I talked about this before. Obviously, Comica, you were telling me that you were a little more adept here with the map choices in general. How are we feeling about this stage pick for map pick for game number 1?
Well, it's a very lane-based map. There's not a whole lot of ways that you can go in and around it to subvert your opponent's angles. So if a team gets a really good setup here, they're likely to be able to hold it. So with a team like One44, I would really expect them to lay into their good experience and get these good rotations early on to try and really cement some good hill time.
So we're seeing early on, obviously, One44 taking a pretty dominant lead early on. Taking the some pretty good cover here on this first point, especially Luge right now, covering his window pretty well, opting for the frag there. Not going to find too much off of that. Another corner rush down. Oh, as I say, that Spark's being taken down from the jump on top of that cover. And, I mean, early on, the tight corners gameplay coming out in spades, as you mentioned, Comic Guy. It's getting crazy so far.
Yeah, and it's looking like 144. They did have the good spawns to start out, but POBO is starting to get in a little bit of an interesting spot here. Did go for a little bit of a flanker on the outside of the map, saw that their opponents were going for a lot of time on P1. Now we're trying to get their day in the sun on P2. It's a little bit of a dicey affair here. Esco in here a little bit alone, but he's got a decent amount of hill time for himself before Careful came and picked his pocket. Good spawns here for 141, and POBO gonna have to find a good way to break.
Speaking of trying to do that right now, we got a big pick on the part of Jas right there. Oh, another one coming out from Esco as well, taking a big movement from POBO. Try to force themselves forward here in the second hardpoint coming out. Finally, because of retaliation from 144 and holding well in the second part of this hardpoint. I mean, this game is looking, I think we've got a set in our hands, honestly, because this is looking pretty competitive so far.
Yeah, 144 will have the good spawns here for P3. This is another one of those money hills. This map is kind of full of money hills, to be totally honest with you, but yeah, 144 POBO definitely got a lot of good time off that last hill. I was a little bit worried from that P1 with just how much 144 was just slaughtering them early on. Got like 4 kills before for pretty much each of them before their opponents even responded with a single kill. But I mean, I guess it was just a little bit of a bad start as they're really starting to get some good positioning here and threatening their opponent's hold.
I mean, speaking of good positioning, Sparks are right there, playing around that corner, going to catch you coming through the door. Not going to do any with that utility right there. Again, got playing out of the corner. Sparks and Luge just consistently up seeing your side through these corners, playing these angles fantastically. Oh my goodness, and playing this top window. POBO trying to break through, but 144, I feel like it's got it on lock when it comes to playing in the defensive position so far. Goodness gracious.
Oh, absolutely they do. That's exactly what I was pointing out in the beginning. If 144 get their setups like they do right now, they should be able to just hold it and dominate their opponents. They're going to be wanting to get these rotations, or you're going to be flat out of trouble. And you see the stat lines here from POBO Esports. Strezzy, my GOAT, 2 and 10. That is painful to look at, but it's pretty much, it's not because he's just getting owned in 1v1s. 144 just doing a lot better job of rotating, and POBO just having to run into Godheadies pretty much.
Just trying to make a different stand here, gonna get called out there, running for out of the corner, but again, Sparks and Luge putting in a fantastic work covering those corners. You run down to the second point here again, like you mentioned before. All these different angles of spawn points flipping for the second points coming out is going to make a big difference. POBO could most certainly make a big stand here. They gotta make it count. Pipe on to pick right there, drops down. Got Pooty versus Esco still holding on to this point strong, but 144 still takes it. Luge and coming back down there with the frag, the double pick there on the part of Luge. Luge is coming out strong so far. My goodness.
Oh, this is a big moment for killing here. Big moment for killing. If POBO can find some good kills here, they can get an easy rotation back to P1 here, but you can see already Pooty is going to be there alongside Jas trying to get some good angles here. Hype's going to be hard pressed to try and get a little bit of a cross here, but even though he doesn't really have a whole lot of help, he's getting a lot of good distance here. But as you can see, POBO nice and set up on this P1, and they could very well, despite again the bad stat lines, catch their opponents off this hill.
Yeah, honestly, as the spawn switched back onto the point of POBO's favor, able to finally take the defensive positions that 144 had early on in this game, and it's coming on space here. Finally, though, Hype gonna find a big pick there on the part of Jas. Finally gonna break through in this bottom level, trying to find some way to break through here. But like you said, the team composition for POBO definitely in their favor here from defending this point one, as they can still hold strongly. But here comes 3 of the teammates from 144 breaking through this middle side door and breaking down perfectly. Careful and Hype together, just like literally breaching the point like it's nobody's business.
Yep, a team that shouts together wins together. Literally all just funneling through that middle door, and too many targets for the one guy that was watching that way to look, and it was a good little break at the last little bit here for 144. However, POBO, they are going to be getting some kills here, which could yield them a good rotation. Unfortunately for them, 144 do have the good spawns, and POBO are pretty much once again finding themselves in the unenviable position of having to run right into head glitches, although they do manage to beam Hype out of the hill time.
Goodness gracious, man. And I mean, I'm honestly loving the team synergy coming out from 144 in general so far. Like you mentioned, you know, a team playing together is going to be looking a lot better. Just reaching all at the same time, taking these angles at the same time. Finally, we've got a decent little flank here coming out from the part of oh, Jas going to find a good pick there, but again, going to call out in the corners. Hype and Sparks breach through together, going to find a force the situation here in this room. And I mean, honestly, 144 again forcing the situation and forcing POBO back onto the back foot.
That is a absolute gift and a half there for POBO. The two 144 players that were on the hill just were not looking the right direction. They both just ran on and killed them both, so some good little hill time being granted there for them. Pooty and POBO gonna be getting a nice little strong setup here. However, they're gonna be overloading this guy. There's no way that Pooty can hold this by himself, or he shouldn't be able to. But yeah, so this nice little flank around the back is gonna force their opponents to either flip around or lose a lot.
And we're seeing even the thing from 144, not even when they're breaching the same room together, but we had one coming from the flank, when breaking through the main door. Again, it's the consistent aggression coming out from 144, and again, forcing POBO back onto the back foot time and time again. We're seeing Careful actually putting in a lot of work here on the specific point. As finally Strezzy gonna have some decent footing here. Gonna find a pick there, Soul trying to find some way to break through here again. Everything coming through here, and Strezzy trying to make a statement, but Sparks gonna shut him down again.
Yep, and some good killing here at the last little bit for 144. They're gonna be looking to extend this into a nice little rotation here. You can see Luge is gonna be watching that little bottom spot, but Esco gets a little bit of a weird spawn. I don't think that 144 are going to be in a good spot to deal with this. They're not going to be expecting it. And as you can see, he's going to be getting a good little shot on the back of them, completely breaking the setup that they thought was really good, but unfortunately got a little bit messed up by the spawns. Now they're going to be fighting for their lives for a hill that was seemingly on a silver platter for them.
Oh yeah, you definitely, great point there. We're seeing finally Hype trying to set up here in this corner, hold the point, like trying, but finally getting called out there by that frag. Jazz honestly been coming through. I think there's a third kill at this point with the frags, and been really good at covering, again, Hype and sitting in those corners and then just breaking through. Because honestly, Jazz coming out and helping POBO defending these points here really well.
Yeah, we are starting to get into a little bit of risky territory here. 144, they are finally starting to make the most out of their kills and get a really solid lead here. If they can manage to break the 200 point margin here and get some solid kills going into this next hill for the rotation, we could be seeing them just winning off of last minute breaks here. POBO are in a very rough position where they have to hold these hills out for pretty much the last little bit of time, have to play very perfectly, otherwise 144 can win off of any of the remaining hills.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing right now, Sparks sets up here, center stage at the point, but Strezzy finally gonna find a decent corner, but gets talked out by Luge again. Synergy, again, coming out through in spades as 144. Once again, run them down. Now actually lapping in 50 points here. We got Careful setting up in the corner, looking to set up here by this door, waiting for what will try to break through. Like you mentioned, they have to make a play right now, but 144 is ready for it, and they've got every single corner of this room covered. So I say that though, again, just Booty being taken down like nobody's business. Finally trying to
1v1,
making a breakthrough with a double kill from Esco.
And he shoots bodies at this stat line is absolutely nuts. He might be paying for that one. Only 16 seconds necessary for 144 to win. Can't do it off of this one, but as you can see, they're nice and set up as can be on this next one. And everybody from their opponents are dead. It's going to be a desperate last push here for POBO. Jazz has to go absolutely massive. He has to go now. Sliding right across, gets right underneath. Gonna try and hop in the roof here. Has to go now. Can't win the fight against Hype, and that will do it for this map number 1, ladies and gentlemen, going into the hands of 144.
Wow, man. I mean, and I feel like it just perfectly encapsulated the strength of team synergy towards the end there. I mean, the entirety of that game, right? It was not only towards that point 1 where 144 came in early on and covered this, we had 2 players sitting in the corners of the southern stage at the point, and we had 2 sitting in the top window, which covering every single aspect of the room, where POBO was forced into a backwards position. But it's also towards the end of that game, and towards the center point of that game, where we are mixing up our different approaches, not just like all breaking through the same room, and I mean, that worked, considering, again, the absolute firepower they were bringing whenever they're starting these interactions. But it's introducing those flanks. And again, like you mentioned before, being hyper aware of those spawn points and mattering so much moving forward onto those hard points that, I mean, 144 just ran away with it pretty comfortably, I would say. I don't know if 74 is comfortable. It seems comfortable in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say that they won pretty comfortably there. There was a vast majority of the game where it was a lot closer than it should have been, in my personal opinion, especially considering that every single person on POBO was negative pretty much the whole time. They were able to get some solid little breaks in here and there, like on the P3s and on the P4s, but there was just a point in the game where they just got out hill timed on too many of these objectives, never really got good rotations to P2. Even if they were able to find a solid little shot onto the guy that was holding onto it, they weren't really getting much of the hill time themselves. And I feel like they just got a little bit out rotated, like I was saying pretty much in the beginning. That's just how the map works.
Honestly, speaking of the map, though, I feel like as we move into our second map here on Raid, I feel like this will benefit POBO a lot, considering it's their pick. I think it makes sense. Mm-hmm. I think there's one simple aspect that I'm picking up on, which was the aggression that Jazz was introducing with a lot of those like early frags, finding those like the angles that you could find those picks. I think on stage, like, I mean, what I was watching earlier today, there's a lot of those extra angles you'd find like in the middle courtyard or through the different windows where it's not necessarily going to be benefiting as much of the defensive sort of play. And obviously, the game mode is going to dictate that as well. But playing a lot more of that, coming in gung-ho, I feel like will be able to be benefited in spades on the part of POBO as we move forward here. I feel like if there's one player to watch out for in this game too, it's going to be Chest. If I had to put it out there.
Okay. Yeah, for POBO, Struzzy had a little bit of a rough map last time, but I'm expecting a lot out of him. I've seen him in like a lot of Call of Duties previously, including some Call of Duties that had this map in the rotation raid, and I've seen him do pretty good stuff. Struzzy's been, in my experience of casting him, a very steady search and destroy powerhouse. And so, and I've seen Aquatic a little bit in whatever team he's on. He's always a pretty steady guy as well. So I would expect to see POBO do a little bit better here. Not to say that 144 are not great in search and destroy on their own. Careful, I think I've seen him in pretty much every single COD I've casted. He's always been good in search and destroy as well with the AR and the sniper rifle. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw him pull that out. And so, yeah, dude, I think this one is really up in the air, but because it's one of the older maps, I would probably lean to see some of the more experienced players like Strezzy and Careful to see who's going to be the ones that are leading everyone else along to victory.
I mean, I can follow that logic. I mean, no pressure to Strezzy, you know, you definitely gassed him up a little bit. You kind of set him up here. Hopefully he takes the opportunity to shine. And I believe in him, honestly. He was those little sporadic moments between that game, I feel like was unfortunately just a result of the different strategies that 144 are putting forward. So this is definitely the time for him to let it shine. As we get into the beginning of this game, right at the beginning of Search and Destroy again, I mean, already the aggression coming out from 144, playing the exact same kind of positioning as they did earlier on. Again, the team synergy we mentioned before, and POBO obviously looking to make a statement here early on.
Ooh, and it looks like they're going to try and pinch Sparks out on mid. Almost got him, but unfortunately he gets a turn and a beam onto Strezzy's face. That is a really rough one there for POBO. It was a good setup, but the execution just didn't really follow up, unfortunately, and it cost him a player, 2 players now, and it does seem to be falling apart in this round number 1 for POBO. Gonna really have to look to get this isolated player on a pick, but it looks like he's gonna get taken down himself. It's all on the final player here.
Oh, just gonna find a pick though. Wait a minute. Okay.
Nope.
I mean, obviously not the greatest position to be in, but I mean, I'm noticing immediately if there's one team technique that I can pick up from 144 is that they are really good at, like, I have to assume they've got some great comms over there. Because early on we got you rushing into those corners, playing in the positioning where you can have one of your teammates set up in the corner front. Like, typically we have like Sparks running in there early on into the middle of the point. And then we have players like Luge and Hype playing more backwards. You know, and I feel like even on Search and Destroy, it's still working out pretty well.
Yeah, and it looks like we've actually got Hype on here on the sniper. I know that I have theorized that Careful would because I've seen it and do it in past CODs, but I forgot that Hype is also pretty solid on it as well. And in this Call of Duty, snipers are so good that they had to ban pretty much every single one of them. So yeah, Hype could be another one of those difference makers we see here as well. Young gun, very, very good, and especially for his age as well.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good to go for it. And already early on, we have Hootie opting for that. I'm not going to find too much off of that. Esco actually going to find the pick there on the part of Sparks on the frag grenade. We're going to find a pick there as well on Hype. And POBO, I feel like obviously is empowered by how the last round went down, looking to make a statement. But Careful going to find the pick of the sniper, as you mentioned before. Like, making that statement. And Loge going to find his own pick as well. Keeping this game relatively close. 144 down a player. Still definitely doable as Luge trying to get out of here. Make an aggressive approach from the corner. But Jast sitting here comfortably, defending on point A. And Strezzy sitting up in the corner as well. Looking to cover every single angle. Luge needs to go for, honestly, an approach of a lifetime right now, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, honestly, POBO just need to chill out and not get picked. They're in the perfect position to set each other up for a trade. And yeah, Jast, the worst thing that could happen right now is Luge gets an angle where he can just get 2 individual one-on-ones here. They're just going to sit here, try and play it out carefully. But as you can see, Jast is going to be in a little 1v1 scenario here with Luge. Going to be sliding on past him, not hearing him because of the dead silence. Wow. Luge really running out of time here, though. I think Jast is a little bit wise to him, though. Luge does see one, going to go back for the chop, but they're both there. The bait and switch goes huge for POBO.
That's a great call out, Comica, recognizing that Luge is looking for the 1v1s. And at the end of that round, we had both Jast and coming together with Strezzy to sit out together in that room, saying, you know, we got 10 seconds left. I'm not going to risk it. Let's just sit together in this room. And if he comes out, we're winning that. Even if one of us gets taken down, we're winning that. And that just makes sense. Obviously, great work on the part of POBO. Again, just even in those high tense situations, going to make it work to get back into round number 3, and we are running through this round so far, running through these games so far.
Yeah, and another thing I'll say as well in my experience is it's pretty normal for good search and destroy teams to lose the first couple of rounds just to try and get the feel of their opponents. And so I'm not stressing by any means that these guys are struggling in the first little bit. Strezzy going to be getting a solid little trade out kill there. Seeing Sparks there as well in a little bit of a rough spot. But bomb carrier is going to be down, so that's going to be a little bit inconvenient for POBO to pick up.
Sparks now privy to play in the center of the point. Looking to play patiently here again, not going to overextend considering the angles that Strezzy's going for right now. Actually going to fall right into it. Definitely don't want to run through that door willy-nilly. Definitely going to be more privy to that right now. Got another flank around from the part of Hype as well. Looking to take these different angles. Careful, going to find another pick there on the sniper. And Sparks coming through, taking down Strezzy again. And once again, POBO forced into the last person scenario. It's going to be 144 coming on top once again.
Unlucky for POBO there, man. They had a good little start there, and they're definitely getting better on their attacks, but yeah, their opponents just seem, like I said, very set up. They know how they want to do their setups. Careful on the outside of the map, ready and waiting with the sniper rifle for whenever they come flying around the corner. They just know where their opponents are going to be at. They're forcing them with their mid-map control to go to either of the extremes, and they're watching both.
Dude, I'm just curious where Careful is. It's like every time Careful gets a pick,
basketball courts.
It's like,
He was around basketball courts area.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like every single time I feel like Careful gets a pick, it's like, oh, sure. No, I believe you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. We've got an idea now. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you definitely weren't lying, because definitely doing a great job to work with the sniper rifle so far. You got Jazz trying to take more of the aggressive approach, but sitting here at the low ground, Hype is going to take you down again. I mean, 144 playing those angles perfectly every single time. Only one pick on each side. Looking to make a statement here as Hype trying to force their way near point A. Waiting to, as POBO recollects themselves. Got Careful again, sitting on the back with the sniper rifle. I mean, just smelling the blood in the water right now. As I say that, though, speaking of blood in the water, that's going to be Hype taking down the double team on the part of POBO.
Yep. Going to be taking opposite sides of the map here, Sparks and Careful. One with the sniper rifle, looking for the middle of the map. They know that's where they just pinched out their friend from, and Careful knowing that they could quite easily extend into top house there as well. Ooh, sees the guy on the bomb. This is a dangerous scenario here. Hootie trying to play with the cover of his teammates, but Careful gonna get up next to him, taking him down. A 1-for-1 trade. All he's gotta do is just play for time. Sparks sitting, waiting, gonna be looking for a little bit of an angle to check. Trying to do the 1v1 here with Strezzy. Bought his teammate enough time though, and Esco does get it. That is great faith in your teammates there. Even though he doesn't win it, he's just bought him enough time, and he knows all I gotta do is hit this button, and the round is over.
Fantastic stuff there again. Again, it's the team coordination. I feel like it's coming out in spades much more on the part of POBO in this game too, as opposed to game one. You know, being able to recognize where your teammate's going for that last second play, the pop up there. Winning the 1v1 doesn't even matter there because you got the round win. Now we are 2-2 on the board. I mean, you mentioned like teams like losing rounds early on in search and story for information, but we're 2-2 right now. I feel like this game is really down to the wire.
Yeah, POBO getting progressively better on their attacks. They struggled in the first one, did slightly better in the second one, and then on the third one, they just knock it home with some really great team play with the defuse. Sorry, that was a defense. My bad. But anyways, Strezzy can be going towards the top side of the map. Do have to be cautious of Careful. I almost said careful of Careful there, but that would have been very repetitive. And so they do manage to get actually up into basketball courts in here as well. So this is some great ground being gained by POBO. They do lose Pooty for it, though.
Wow. How you gonna find the double kill on the part of Strezzy again? Careful coming through with the second pick on Esco. It's now 144 on the attacker side and just gonna take it all the way down. I mean, again, fantastic round from them. I mean, just like a small, quick adjustment. We've gone for a lot more of a passive round on the part of them, obviously because they were defending. So I mean, like, obviously you're gonna play more passive. But like the way that 144 like changes dynamics so quickly, especially with one of your teammates like representing a sniper of all things, where it's like, you're always going to assume they're going to be playing more of the long-range game, or that's what I assume. And, but 144 just absolutely rushing out, especially on the part of Hype, looking 5-2 right now on the part of 144. definitely putting in some great work for their team.
Yeah, it's like I said, he's one of the ones to watch. This dude's something special. He's very young, but very cracked, and definitely got a lot of eyes on him in this tournament. One of the favorites for a reason. And so, yeah, 144 actually getting very good ground on this bomb site, and probably going to be looking to get a plant off here. Not much Pooty can do from this position, and you're going to be seeing Strezzy trying to push through the middle of the map to get a little bit of a flank arena onto them. Esco just running right up, gets a kill for free before Careful does manage to trade him back. But it's all down to Strezzy now. What's he gonna do?
Well, looking to find back from this corner once again. Strezzy looking to play those angles back in there. Oh, we recognize Luge right there. I think too over aggressive. Who's now sitting in the corner next to this bomb, but taking down Strezzy. Great job on the part of 144 still to hold it down.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the one bomb site you probably don't want 144 to be getting, especially because any route that you take up here, you're going to have to contend with Careful here. Like I said, Sniper...
He's got the bed right there, too, bro. He's home. He's comfortable. He got that big. He's going for a nap. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. POBO putting him to sleep a little bit in that round, maybe a little bit. He's like, bro, I need a nap after that one. Just run right up into my pre-aim. But just kidding. We've got two solid back-to-back rounds there for 144 on both attack and defense. And we're going to be seeing POBO trying to make their way through the middle of the map. A rare miss from Careful, a rare, even rarer second miss from him. And it's looking like POBO is actually going to be getting a solid first blood onto him here with the courtesy of a grenade.
There we go. I'm going to find the double pick, though, trying to rush back in the corner on the part of POBO. The last stand from Esco, but Hype and Lou going to take them down. Fantastic work there. Dude, it's like 144, I feel like, has achieved the flow state on this map. Whether it's been defending, like you said, that specific point last round with Careful sitting up in that room with that sniper, or whether it's rushing from the corner and Careful, even with the double miss, it's like you've got him set up in that corner, so you're not going to sit there and challenge him. You've got Hype literally sliding right through and saying, okay, now if you make a mistake, Hype's running through and finding that double kill. Like, the Hype plus Careful combo is a disgusting match.
Yeah, pretty much the rough thing that happened there for POBO is it took them so long to deal with that situation, and Careful was able to get such good intel for them that the players on the outside of the map just expected them to go. Oh, putting that on hold for a second here. This is a hell of a fast round here, dude. It's all on Hype, really putting his star power to the test here. He's alone and gonna have to get an ace for the win.
This is gonna be the play of the tournament if you can make this happen. You know what I believe. Never mind, that's what happens when you believe. My bad. I'll take the fall for that one, Hype. My bad, bro. No, but yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the kind of thing too. When you've I just mentioned of like flow state. Unfortunately, you can like catch your the opposing team getting a little too comfortable in the strategies they've had established. Like, all right, now I know, because albeit it's been working most of the time, but I know we're gonna be comfortable going for early on. So we're gonna be taking advantage of that and playing around that to go forward. Unfortunately, POBO is still on the back foot, so that strategy isn't gonna work forever, as 144 is one win away from taking this game number 2.
Yep. All you need is just one more round win, and you're 2-0 up in the series. That's all it takes. So you do it one more time. POBO,
oh my goodness,
unfortunately,
man.
meeting the wrong end of Careful's gun again. He's just that good, and Hype catching him through the eye of the needle. Strezzy down now as well. It is all falling apart for POBO in what could be the final round of this map. Esco getting run down by Luge, and it's all on to Jast up against 4 hopes and dreams of his team on his shoulders, and he cannot win up against the mighty Luge. We are 2-0 up in the series.
I mean, realistically, how do you contend with the dynamic duo that is Careful on the sniper and Hype playing and living up to the name and making those Hype plays, playing aggressively, and not to discredit, of course, the other 2 teammates on the part of 144, as Luge and Sparks did a fantastic job playing as the pseudo cleanup crew. Honestly, it's like you've got Careful set up in the back, playing this angle, like, and we saw there were like the different points where it was less optimal for Careful on the sniper pick. Like you've tried like the little like weirder like center stage defense. It's like weird to find those sniper picks. And when he couldn't find those picks, we had Hype running in there and making himself known and finding that, like, I feel like almost consistently found it. Whenever Hype found a pick, there was a second one immediately afterwards. Like, you talk about star power, that's surely, he's got it right there. And on the other side of things, you got a defensive point where Careful can get set up with a sniper, and he's quite literally sits up on the bed. He's got a little warm glass of milk. He's ready to catch somebody out there in the middle of the courtyard. It's quite literally like 144 putting on a masterclass right there. The dynamic duo of Careful and Hype was a beautiful to watch.
Yep, and now we're moving on to Overload, the map and mode combination that people probably have the least amount of experience in, especially me as well. This will be the first Overload I have ever casted, but from what I've seen
Me
so
too,
far,
man.
absolutely.
We're in this together.
And so, yeah, we're all in this together. But for real though, what I'm pretty much expecting to see here is both sides. You've got a preferred site that's easier for them to take than the other. You're pretty much going to be looking to get one of these sites, a clear route to that site. And then once you've planned it once, you're trying to keep this route open to try and keep repeatedly killing your opponent over and over again and just constantly getting it. That's the idea. No team has been able to do it like that yet. We've yet to see like a major blowout like that yet, but that's in theory what you want to be doing here. It's a little bit like Control like that, where you want to be pushing up as far as you can past the overload point and keeping your opponents in just a repeated state of respawning on the opposite side of the map as far away as it's humanly possible from where you're trying to go with your team.
Okay, so the question, Kamika, is then, if we look at either team roster right here, do you think either team has the gumption to make it happen here? Do you think they have the ability or the team synergy to make it happen, given the plays we've seen so far?
I don't know. I'm going to be deferring a little bit to what I've seen on the player cams.
Make a guess, yes or no. All right, if you're wrong, it's okay.
I do. I think that if we're going to be seeing a team do it, it's going to be 144. When we've been panning to POBO's cams, they've looked a little bit stressed out. I'm going to be totally honest with you here, dude.
Honestly, you can't blame them, but early on, the double picks coming out there on the part of Esco and Jast. I mean, POBO nice. And coming out with the aggression early on. Oh, and Esco going to find the second pick there on Luge. Esco making himself known here in the beginning of this game. Again, on the back foot, you're down 2-0. You're fighting for your tournament life here, or your winner side life at least. You got to make something count right now.
And it looks like they're going to be going for the A site here, which is to be expected. This is one of the quicker routes to take. There's a lot more cover going up into it. Careful in his team, trying to give him some help here. But as you can see, POBO, they know exactly where they got to go here. Coming around the back, though, we got to watch out for Hype.
Ooh, taking down
no, we
again
don't
the
actually.
Triple picks. Esco on it again, like coming in spades here. The aggressive nature of this player has been working out perfectly here for him. We got Careful here again, taken down by Esco. Honestly, he might be the overload prodigy, man. Oh, I say that. I spoke too soon.
They're really close on that counterattack, and their opponents haven't quite picked it back up yet, but yeah, Pooty up here a little bit alone, sees his opponents go back towards the middle of the map, probably should be calling this out for his teammates. And as you can see, Sparks is trying to get the route open, but gets a little bit caught in the process, so POBO should have the opportunity to set up and counter this, especially Pooty.
Down again. Oh yeah, Careful. I mean, you're set up here on the side of this cannonball right here, gonna get called out in spades.
Ooh, huge.
Esco and Pooty going for the double picks as well. Oh, here we go. We got Pooty picking it up. Hopefully close right now, but I mean, the entire force of 144 going to shut you down. Careful, going to find the great pick there on Pooty. And guys, he's going to pick it up for himself. Oh, the double turn on the pistol. Wait a minute. Oh, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy in this back room.
Strezzy wins the 1v1, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Enough stall out time has been made to where 144 can pick up the overload device and go back towards it. Both teams, it's going to be stalemate central here once again. Strezzy with a nice little piece of 2 there, but the flank once again coming in from Hype. It seems like they're wary of this though. They're aware, but knowing doesn't always help, as Hype does keep this little back road alive.
Got Pooty jumping either again, taking down Luge, going for a lot of those shoot that room. Gonna find another pick there on the part of Jast. Sparks trying to aggress for their team again. We're trying to put again an aggressive foot forward, as POBO is definitely demanding the game right now. I'll be no points on the board, but definitely have a strong presence. Careful, gonna find the pick there. We got one on the part of Sparks as well. Finally, 144 coming to life here, trying to find the EMP. Hype takes another pick down, but Pooty set up perfectly there. As Hype has got it picked up, and this might be the tone shift that 144 needs for the beginning of this game.
Yep, and it looks like Hype is going to be doing the right thing here, holding up with the rest of his team. are holding up and waiting for the rest of his team, but actually it looks like not quite going to be happening. POBO now have a good opportunity for a counterattack. If they can manage to find Careful, who's laying right underneath him here. They don't know it, but he's hiding right underneath them. Good flank coming in here from Sparks as well. If Pooty wasn't able to take down both the two of them, then that could have been an easy road into the bomb site. But now Pipe is going to have to take at least one more fight before he goes and plants this. Seems like they're a little bit too preoccupied with their opponent, and it is actually going to be able to, with his dying breath, get this plant down, giving them finally a lead. And we're going to pretend we didn't see that from Sparks.
No tactical. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Looks like Clayster's not going to be the first one that takes a fall death in the.
We're learning the map, okay? You know, we're testing the spawn points. You know.
Yeah.
Smash, we like to call that building rage. I was like, we're going to take the lead early on. Who better to take that first pick there than Hype, of course, taking the aggression. Luge coming out, going to find the pick there on Esco. Rezi going to find Sparks there as well. I mean, there's so much back and forth here, but just like the biggest thing that like the difference maker in these overload games is just like finding that lead and it's like having the command of the EMP. We're seeing a big thing too as well as Jas gonna find triple picks there from Jas and Esco. Finally to make a last second play. We got 30 seconds left. We need to make something happen right now.
Yep, they do have the close spawns though, so 144 are gonna be able to get a solid counterattack here. All they really need to do is just keep it nice and stuck here in the middle of the map, and if they do manage to catch their opponents out, then that's another free plant for them. But it looks like they're just content to just sit here, run the clock out, go into the next half, and just get ready for the next round. No reason to do anything crazy here.
There you go, yeah, definitely, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know, don't overthink it. As 144 sitting pretty comfortably here, gonna take it down, his first round of Overload. And honestly, considering if I didn't know this was a new game mode, I would have thought 144 has been here before, man. They like honestly, the beginning of the game was a little rough considering we were getting like we were finding our footing from both sides of these teams, but just towards the end, it's the somewhat akin to last round where we got like players like Hype running in there trying to find the EMP, and then we have like the cavalry coming from in behind them and giving that supporting fire, which in a game mode like this matters so much.
Yeah, it just sort of seems like they're playing it like it's Control. Like I said, it's a little bit like that. These map 3 modes are typically like that, where you want to overextend and spawn your opponents onto the opposite side of the map in Control. You'd be wanting to just sit on one of these points and get both of them eventually, but in this, all you really need is one. So in theory, it could be a little bit easier like that, but so far it hasn't been quite like that. Only 1 point on the board so far for both teams, and Esco could be looking to get up close and personal and change that up a little bit.
Oh, definitely gonna make it happen right there against Careful. Chasing him back down into that corner. Really gonna find a pick there on the part of Sparks. In the beginning of these rounds, relatively close. Now, just looking to temper some damage here in the center of this point, looking to find the EMP. But 144 gonna find a couple picks there in a row, but again, Strezzy gonna have the response there. Luge again gonna take on Strezzy as well in retaliation. Going back and forth, maybe like assessing the different routes we can take right now. We've got Luge looking to rush back in here for some sort of flank, and gonna be taken down for his troubles. Esco set up perfectly there, but Sparks again, the retaliation pick.
Yep, and it's looking like 144 are going to be putting as much emphasis on the middle of the map as they are on the outside of the map. Both teams are just really trying to fight for this top side route, but no one's really been too keen on picking it up just yet. Careful, now going to be getting it and going towards the bottom side of the map. They know that POBO are all up there, so they're just going to try and go for a fast hit here with a cutoff from Luge. He does get them a little bit of pressure, enough to where they're able to get a little bit of a cross here on 1v1. Strezzy does manage to get them both. 3! Strezzy, the hero, stopping what could have been game, set, and match. 2 points on the board would have been devastating, but Strezzy, with a big moment there, stops it.
Dude, Kamika, you've been talking Strezzy up all day, and we're finally seeing it come through here as he's honing that potential and defending perfectly for the team right there. And now POBO looking to take that momentum and make it happen. As Sparks set up here, 2 players sitting up here on the B point. I mean, 144 definitely set up here.
Oh, so close.
On the part of Careful taking them down regardless. You gotta thank your lucky stars. You just got the game on your hands. 2.5 minutes left. And POBO, again, needs to hone that energy for the rest of this game. And they're looking to do that so far.
Well, it's looking like they're going to try and overextend and overload these guys. Could very well happen. This flank from Pooty could be absolutely massive if he wins this fight, which he can't. It's a full wipe in the favor of 144. Bomb is free and ready to be picked up. But in the middle of the map is going to be Luge. Gets a little bit of a call on where these guys are at. And bomb is going to be resetted. I guess this is pretty much what 144 are wanting here. The bomb is sort of in a spot where both teams are very unlikely to pick it up. It's easier to sort of cover it, I guess.
I see that. No, it makes sense. Literally setting it up as a bait and tackle. You know, it's like, oh, we've got the lead. We got nowhere to go. We have no reason to play the aggressive foot here. So by all means, guys, we're gonna be setting up here comfortably. And Sparks and Hype just sitting here waiting for those picks as POBO again are forced to play the aggressive foot forward. Even then, as they find a team wipe, we got Careful even taking it all down. That's 2-0. We've got a minute and 40 seconds left in the game, and it's looking not so great for POBO right now.
Yep, dancing into the finish line there. You saw Careful taking his time with it, carefully as his name would suggest. And it's looking like, once again, they're just in a spot where they know that they're in the lead. Their opponents have to come to them, so they're not taking any big risks, just playing for the counterattack. And even taking the bomb all the way around in their own base. Just playing a little bit of keep away here. Is this really the plan here, man?
Listen, man. I'm going to trust them. I was like, this isn't... We're coming up with new strategies in real time. We got the head of the table right now. Yo, you got your back to the window, bro. I don't know what happened last time.
I kind of like it.
This is not funny. We got the CEO of the company right here. Sparks is trying to go over the Quarter4 reports right now with this bomb, with his EMP in hand.
Yep, getting the quarterfinal reports. It's looking like the quarterfinal reports are coming in here, and it's going to be a 1-4-4 victory. Consistent growth across the entirety of the quarterfinals for these guys. It's a great year for them. Definitely a team worthy of investment. And yeah, Strezzy gonna be going down there. Just can't seem to kill the carrier here. Sparks with his team just sitting around him. Yeah, this is looking like lockup shop scenario here for 144. Moving on to face the next team that's waiting for them, which I believe is Gen T, right?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I've got a great name for the strategy right here, Sparks. We call it the meeting of the minds.
Huh.
We sitting at the table, you got his team supporting him from different sides of the room. Like how do you beat this realistically? That's insane. Like, to have the privilege to see a new strategy open before my very eyes. Do we think it happened off the dome, or do you think we planned that? Because that was hilarious either way.
That seems definitely planned. Like, I mean, and it just makes sense. Like, you just, if your opponents, like, if the only way your opponents can win is if they have the bomb and they haven't really been able to break too much into your base, it makes sense to do something like that. We are seeing the meta develop before our very eyes. The game has only been out for a week, and it's looking like that is definitely going to be something that you can expect to see from this point forward.
Dude, if I see the clips coming out on Twitch or Twitter or wherever, I'll be like, yo, I was there for when this came out. I named that tech. I'm ready for it. 144 clearly changing up the game here, and it worked out in spades. They got the 3-0 in winners quarterfinals. Dominant win over POBO. POBO obviously were showing some signs of life, specifically in round 2. We had some pretty strong strategies early on. We had some, like, the potential rising from players like Strezzy, especially in this last round. But unfortunately, just couldn't really all come together. We're on the other side of 144. Like, it was locked in, honed in from the start. It was the same sort of core game plan of we've got Careful playing from the back. We got Hype playing quite literally living up to the name of playing the aggressive game. We had the other two players of Sparks and Luge just following up with their different sort of team defensive cores. You know, I mean, and honestly, in the end of Overload, we had Sparks taking a little bit of the reign with that EMP. Just so interesting and enjoyable to see the level of communication and thought process going into every single play from this team. I'm very excited to see where they go. And if I had to guess, I honestly think 144 can take the whole thing home because they were playing phenomenally all set.
Well, I can tell you where these teams are going to go. 144 are going to go on to face Gen T, and boy, oh boy, do they have their work cut out for them there. This is D'Lo, Adam Savage, Zuner and Calamity. These guys are top level dudes, as you can tell by the fact that they're in the semifinals. But yeah, if this is definitely going to have been a good warm up for them, and they're going to be feeling very good going into these next opponents, as you can see here. Unfortunately, I can also tell you where POBO is going to be going, and that is to the losers bracket. They're not going to be guaranteed to go and still play tomorrow. They're going to have to fight Outbreak Virus in order to get that pleasure.
Man, and I feel like honestly, if there's no better motivator in this world than Spite, so I feel like POBO, they have the skill obviously to make it happen. The players like Strezzy, like Esco have their like sporadic moments where I feel like if we could hone that in a little more, especially in the losers bracket, we can make that happen. So still got faith they can make this clutch up from the losers round 4 to punch their ticket into loser side of top 8. Of course, congratulations to One44 to making Sunday finals, making winner side top 8, and it was a great set to watch all around. For my first time ever watching over one of these, I had a fantastic time watching them do their thing. But we're not done just yet. We've got another little special thing coming up. Come on, why don't you tell me about it, man?
Yeah, we've got our cast-off going on right now, so if you liked me and Momo on the mic here, you can feel free to give us your votes. Please, I beg of you, give us your votes. We would love to come back and see you guys again tomorrow and continue in the fun. But yeah, in all seriousness, we've got a lot of great casters here as well, so even if you're not going to vote for us, definitely get out there and vote for somebody.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, like every single person that came out here was it was a passion. It was the professionalism coming out, even from the casters that like we were all having a great time. But it's the consistency of the level of competition and just enjoying working together. Like obviously this was a competition, so like maybe I shouldn't be as happy to be around these people, but I had a hell of a time. Of course, working with a professional as yourself, Kamaka, I couldn't ask for a better partner. I had a fantastic time.
Thanks, bro. I also had a fantastic time, and we hope you all had a fantastic time here as well. One last plug. Go ahead and get out there, vote for us, hopefully. But yeah, we will be queuing up for the next match coming up here. Not quite sure who it's going to be just yet. It's going to be, I'm sorry, what? Oh, interview with Luge. That's right. We do have an interview with one of the winning teams, so yeah.
We've got one of our
Luge,
players coming out
Good, how are y'all, man?
from the 144 team. We've got Luge. Man, great win for your team. I was like, how you feeling right now?
Feeling good. Didn't drop a map all day. I waited 6-7 hours to play this series. A little bit tired, but feeling good. Feeling confident.
Well, at least you guys are done for the day now, right? And you're going to be being able to get some nice, good rest going into your game tomorrow up against Gen T. How are you feeling about that, by the way, your opponent?
I'd say we're confident. I played Delo last year, first match on Sunday in the kickoff, so I'm very ready to get my payback. I mean, we've played all these guys before, Delo, Adam, Cal, Zuner, so we know how they play. It should be a good game, so I'm excited. I'm just ready to get to work.
Very nice. And if there's one thing I could definitely pick up from watching your set right now, is I felt a lot of the team synergy and a lot of the energy between all of you guys working together. Like, what do you attribute that to? Was it the comms? Did you have a preordained plan? Or was it just you guys were just like internally linked?
We only played 2 or 3 scrim sets before we came here, so we didn't scrim as much as the other teams did. But I mean, we just clicked together. Cody, Careful is my duo, so we know how to play off each other. And Kevin, Pedro, OD Hyper, great players. So I feel like we mesh very well together, and the vibes are good. So that always helps.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you guys were very well-rounded, especially in the search and destroy. Like, Careful had like some really good long angle plays, able to hold things up for you guys, and whenever anyone got close, you or Hype would kind of mop them up there as well. Also, one last question from me. I've been getting a lot of mixed opinions on Overload. What do you guys think about it?
I definitely think it needs a lot of tweaks. I mean, I don't think the ball carrier should be able to shoot. I don't know about the 2 zones. The respawn delay is a little too short. I think they could up it. But, I mean, I think if they make a couple changes, it could be a good mode. Right now, I mean, if you go up 2-0 or whatever, like you saw us do, we just got the ball and sat in our spawn. I mean, it's cruddy. It's not the most flashy, but that's how you win that mode. So it is what it is. But, I mean, hopefully the devs can make it more competitive and a better mode heading into the year.
I mean, hey, I enjoyed it. It might not have been the most riveting gameplay for everybody, but I saw the humor in it.
I personally thought it was
actually
fantastic, bro. I thought Spark sitting at the head of the table was comedy.
They were.
Right?
I don't know if y'all obviously aren't here, but we're chanting defense, so it's funny. We're having a good time.
That makes it so much better. Thank you. Yeah, and I guess just one more thing to round it out. Of course, if there's anyone you want to shout out, if there's any kind of specific person you want to attribute to your success here, or maybe someone that isn't specifically here, or maybe even like a specific thing for yourself beforehand that you think was really amping you up for your victory here today, just go ahead and shout them out.
I mean, not one person specifically. I want to shout out One44 for sending us here. The organization we're under, so big shout out to them. Big shout out to Raheem. I mean, that's it. I mean, shout out all the fans, shout out all the people watching, shout out all the supporters. So hopefully we come out and put on a show for y'all tomorrow.
All right, well, we really look forward to it, Luge. We'll catch you again tomorrow, dude, and best of luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, Momo. Well, I guess that is that. Nice, quick 3-0 for us. I would have loved to have a little bit more time, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It was still very, very well played from 144. POBO, best of luck in the losers finals, and I'll definitely be seeing how they do. Strazy the Goat. We'll see if you can make it a little bit of a run back through the losers bracket, 100 Thieves style or something like that.
Listen, man, again, we saw those moments of shine. I really believe they can make it happen from the loser side, and I'm hoping so. You know, very much in a creative team from what they were doing. And with that being said, of course, we are just almost done with here today. There is one more casting duo coming up soon. And if you want to support us, go check out the voting here. Please check out that link. Vote for myself and Kamak. I personally think like we had a great time. I really enjoyed it as much. I can't speak for my co-caster, but you know, if he thinks I'm annoying, at least he'll tell me afterwards. But I think we had a great time. I hope you all had a great time watching. Of course, shout outs to everybody in charge. Shout outs to people, everyone on production. Shout outs to people running the stream like Guffy Fish, like Guiden over there. Thank you all so much for supporting us, for running this run of show, which is honestly flawless, right? Like sitting here at, like, I can't speak to the typical Call of Duty production, obviously, but like sitting here, like if it's every single one goes like this, like I gotta be back. Like point me to the next Call of Duty tournament right now. I gotta come back. I had a fantastic time.
For sure, dude. Me too. And we hope you guys all in the audience have a fantastic time as well. But with that, we're going to be heading off the mic to the next guys. We'll see you guys all next time.